Hey everybody, Plushie who ran out of ideas to make videos of here. So since I ran out of ideas, I might as well milk a video out of the bombshell that FGO NA dropped yesterday, which is that they will be streaming FGO JP's anniversary stream. Now, I had a couple of misinformations, in between, and I accidentally spread some incorrect information because I also think it's kind of outlandish. That's why I also assumed the information I got was right. But according to previous anniversary titles, basically the anniversary stream that actually reveals the NA server and all the new quality of life stuff, NA's stream is going to be overlapping with the anniversary stream, which has like all of the new Annie servant and all the new quality of life updates. It's all called Chaldea's Radio SP XXX Anniversary Special. So yeah, this is very weird to me because NA's attitude towards JP has traditionally been, we hate clairvoyance. If you know the spokesperson for FGO NA, Albert, you probably know how much he absolutely despises clairvoyance, how he despises that people acknowledge JP's existence and they know everything that's gonna happen in JP. So it's really weird for them to suddenly decide to show the brand new stuff that's gonna happen in JP where NA is 2 years behind. So I don't like to be a doomer, I don't like to doom post, but honestly I don't see a lot of positives coming out of this decision unless they do something super drastic, which let's get into my personal speculation. So first of all, why do I think not a lot of good stuff can come out of this? Well, one, because they can't spoiler anything, because NA is 2 years behind. There are a lot of semi-minor to major story chapters such as Tunguska, Traum, and of course Lost Belt 7 in between, and also even Ordeal Call 1 before anniversary. So the one thing they can't do first and foremost on these kind of streams is, recollection or talking about what happened in the past year of Fake Grand Order, which they usually do during anniversary, so it's kind of odd. And also that will mean that the anniversary servant would have to be not spoiler related. So, people like Kamazats or even you, Olga Marie, I'd argue, kind of spoils Lost Belt 7 might be out of the question. They can pick someone that is not even existent in JP, so it's like a future spoiler like someone like Castoria and Coins God of Light, not like they haven't done it before, or they can pick an old character such as Mirian, who has already appeared in Lost Belt 6, which NA recently got. But overall, I think this will make the stream content a lot more restrictive, and I don't understand why they would do that. And two, this would also mean they just be blueballing the NA server because they'd be showing all the cool new stuff and then they tell the NA server, oh, you gotta wait 2 extra years for all of this new and awesome stuff. So I don't understand what positive they possibly can get out of this. I can see why they're doing such a drastic change because they've been doing drastic changes, for this anniversary, such as appointing Pecora, who's a very popular VTuber. I personally don't really like VTubers, but even I know about her because she's so popular. And appointing her as the ambassador for this year's JP anniversary. So they're certainly trying to shake up the marketing strategies here, in my opinion. So I do think it's important for such an old game to shake up their strategy to try to not have it just shrivel up and dwindle and die. So props to them for taking a step into quote-unquote uncharted territory. But yeah, as I've said before, I think this would either be, heavily restrictive to JP's anniversary, so they can't show anything and they can't really include any of the characters that are spoiler related, that is spoiler to NA. And also that means that this would be a heavy blue balling of the NA players, which will basically showing them all the cool new stuff and not giving them anything, actually in game. But there are a couple of positives that can come out of this if they are drastic enough and they take very, very bold steps. So first of all, the least bold step, which is at the very least they will implement the quality of life changes to both servers at the same time. Which I think it's great because NA has been getting quality of life changes early compared to JP. So this isn't too outlandish. It's basically just moving the early to the earliest possible. I don't think this is too crazy of an idea. And secondly, this could potentially mean that they will be releasing a special servant that is, globally released not just in JP but also in NA. I believe because NA is directly run by Aniplex, they can probably code in like a brand new character for NA early. I don't think that should be too big of a trouble, but obviously the bigger problem comes with scheduling and how people plan their same courts. So NA will be getting one extra banner than JP for getting this certain character, which I mean, it's not that big a problem. Honestly, NA has gotten their exclusive banners before, but the bigger problem is a lot of people in NA are like out of courts because they planned for rolling for Lost Boat 6, rolling for Coin Sky of Light, and maybe rolling for Summer 6 as well. And now this Sun Servant will be dropping on their server, and then boom, we ran out of courts and nobody can afford rolling for that character other than Mega Whales. So I don't think this is a really good choice, other than if they really want to milk some money off the NA server. So I don't know. And also the choice of servant would be extraordinarily important if they decide to take such a bold step. I see a lot of people suggesting a Pakora servant. Now personally, I'm not a big fan of a Pakora servant. I don't like the idea. I'm okay with like a costume or CE, but I'm not for the idea of having a straight up Pakora servant. But that's just my bias, so I'm not gonna go too deep into it. And finally, the one big talk that a lot of people are talking about is server merger. So people have always wanted a server merger, or at least have the servers scheduling sync up, because they don't want to get blueballed. Like I said before, they don't want to wait 2 years for the cool new stuff. So JP has had a lot of dead time because of development problems, because of yada yada yada, scheduling problems, whatever. So JP has traditionally had a lot more downtime compared to NA. So NA traditionally had to fill in the gaps with random filler stuff, just to sort of combat this inevitability of JP, because JP actually had dev time issues when NA didn't have to, but we have to basically bring you the JP experience, quote unquote, so we have to fill in the gaps. But maybe this is the anniversary that they decided, no, fuck that, we're going to start chasing, catching up to JP, and then cutting out all the dead times, reducing all the gaps between events, and then maybe in a year or two we can finally catch up to the JP server. This will also solve the problem, the awkward problem where I don't really like to think about it, because it involves FGO ending service. I don't like to think about it, but like, oh, what will happen to NA if JP ends service, right? So this would solve a problem, a hidden problem that will eventually have to be solved, and this would also make a lot of people happy because they don't have to wait for new stuff anymore. But this would also kind of destroy how a lot of people play the game, because I feel like a lot of NA players especially, they rely very heavily on the clairvoyance, and they very much plan out their role plans so they don't have to spend excess amount of money on servants and get baited by the new character hype. And I think this would be a pretty disappointing change to certain players that think more like this. They like planning out their role plans rather than roll on an impulse, especially for people on a budget. So I don't know if this is the greatest change ever, and maybe this is what Albert means when they say they want to kill or dumb down the clairvoyance, aka they would literally kill it by speeding up NA schedule. But who knows? This is all very exciting and a little bit scary to a lot of people. Personally, to me as well, I don't personally like the idea. I think I mean, I recently quit NA, so I don't really have a say in this, but I personally enjoyed, being able to future sight on one of the servers, so I don't have to spend that much money on it. But yeah, I guess I'm not spending on the server anymore, so it doesn't really consider me. But yeah, I don't know. This is very scary and very exciting. Maybe server will merge. Maybe server will sync up at least. Maybe they will globally release a servant, or maybe they would just cut off the stream right before actual JP news and cut to some NA exclusive program so they don't spoil them, which in my opinion would be the most boring and safe play. And if they're gonna do that, they might as well not do the stream at all. So who knows what's gonna happen. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Because this is just a random rant video, I didn't script any of this. I just opened my microphone and talked speak my thoughts, and I'll see you guys in the next video, and looking forward to this anniversary.